Natalie.
And we are live!
Yes, welcome to Force of Light Entertainment. I am your host, Michelle, and with me, as always, is my co-host, my sister, Natalie.
The Red.
Yes, Natalie the Red. I guess that's what she goes by
From now on, it's
full time.
I'm actually having it changed on my birth certificate.
Yes, well, please hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. But if you enjoy discussing all things entertainment, which I see the people already in the chat, I know you guys, one, are already subscribed, but you guys also like talking some entertainment. Well, welcome to Force of Light Entertainment Live, Episode 2. And we want to give a very special thanks to Luke from Any World but ours for coming on for our very first Force of Light Live last Saturday. He was a fantastic guest.
Yes.
And again, check out his channel if you have not yet. I know those in the chat that you guys all know Luke, so we're good there.
Luke's awesome.
And yes, and I want to give I've got a couple announcements. The first is that we did 4 videos this week. So if you've not had time to check out those, go ahead and check those out maybe after our live show today. And then also tomorrow we will be doing our podcast episode will be out tomorrow where we do our first watch of the movie Alien. Believe it or not, we had never seen Alien.
Now we have.
And in that, we will give you the details of how to win this lovely Luke and Yoda Funko Pop. So that will be on tomorrow's Alien First Watch video. So check that out. And then lastly, this coming Wednesday, we will be doing a live podcast episode, and we will be discussing 90s teen movies with Liv from Pizza and Parsecs, and also Nicole, who will probably show up in the chat here soon.
Also known as Peace, Love, and Star Wars
Yes.
on Twitter, if you're familiar.
Yes, so definitely join us, and that will be Wednesday. There's Nicole. That will be this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, we're going to have a fun kind of just girls chat.
Night.
Yeah, but
join us.
But gentlemen are welcome.
Yes, of course.
We
know you like some of those teen movies.
Yeah, be honest with yourselves. You like them. So we'll be discussing 90s teen movies this Wednesday. So we're all looking forward to that. We're all pumped to discuss that. So definitely join that and be on the lookout for those things. Well, let's not prolong any longer. We want to introduce our guest. You guys all know him.
A little British invasion, if you will.
Yes.
For the second week in a row.
Yes.
We're on a roll here.
But let us introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Marc Shabby Geek.
Yay!
Hello, Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Great. I can't believe I'm on YouTube at 11 o'clock in the morning. You know,
It's like it's early.
I know. 11 o'clock. You know what I mean?
I figured that it could be kind of the adult version of cartoons. Like instead of getting up to watch your cartoons, you get up and you join Force of Light Live for fun discussions. So
hey, watching Shabby's kind of like a cartoon anyway, to be honest. You know what I mean? But...
it is true.
And we love you for it.
We do.
Oh, cheers. Well, thank you.
Now that I see you I always wonder in your videos, Mark, are you drinking coffee or tea? What do we have in that cup?
I always drink tea.
Okay.
Always. PG tips. Oh, yeah. I get them. My family ship them over from England, and I can't. It's like batteries for me. I can't work without them. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I always kind of wonder. It looks like you put some cream in it.
Oh yeah, you can't.
That's the way.
That is the way.
Listen, I've got to be honest here. I remember when I first came to America years ago. I asked for a cup of tea, and they gave me a glass with ice. And I thought, I want the France. What is this? Do you know? I've never. The thought of cold tea just sends a shiver down my spine. It's
Do you know, I don't like cold tea because especially like we're in the South, people really love ice, sweet tea. And like, I've never liked tea, but I do in the afternoons. I'm a coffee girl in the morning, but in the afternoons I become British and I like my tea, my hot tea.
Yes, very nice. We've got Andy Holoconicals on it. We've got Scuba on it. Yeah, we're going to take over. Hot tea from now on. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna get more into it because I don't really love coffee. Actually, it's just like a little too much caffeine. Whereas I feel like tea, is not quite so intense, and you can do it hot with like cream and sugar in it. I think that might be my way to go.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we're up from up north, and when we were babies, your mum had put like a lukewarm tea with cream in your, what is it? You drink. We've had it for years. Do you know what I mean?
They start you early on the tea, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Mother's milk, really.
Well, let's see. Depends what she was eating that day. Do you know what I mean?
Literally from the start. That's what you're doing.
Let's see. And let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We have Alan, who I know is Darth 1, I believe, usually. We've got Blue Harvest Vintage.
Yeah, Alan, you had a name change, I think. I noticed
that. You did, yes. We've got Apprentice Ewoks. We've got our dear friend Nicole is here. We have Jeff M. We have YetiCast. YetiCast has an awesome channel too.
Yes, he does.
We have Darth Poole. We have the Monkey Lizard Salacious Rum. So yeah.
Gotta watch out.
And Vintage Toy Rush. Yes, hello to everyone that is in the chat. Thank you guys for joining the second episode of Force of Light Live.
For the duo, or the triple, you never knew you needed.
Natalie kind of
the thruple.
It's like the new version of Bananarama. Look at it that way. You know what I mean?
It really is. Well, I want you to tell anyone. I think most of the people in the chat know you, Mark, but tell anyone who watches this later when it comes on, after it comes on, not live. Tell anyone listening. Well, for starters, you found us by our Nola Holmes review, right?
Exactly right. It was one of those quiet nights, you know, and it must be a bit weird. Me, you know, everyone went to bed, and I thought, I'm wide awake, and so I was flicking through Netflix, and I found that Enola Holmes. I thought, I'll watch that, and I loved it. It's a bit weird, a grown man watching Enola Holmes at night, but I thought it was a great movie. But I woke up the next day, and you know, there's some good things about it, some bad things about it. So I'm flicking through YouTube, and yours came up. So I thought, all right. So obviously, you know, I thought, I'll watch these two and see what they think. And I fell in love with you both straight away. I thought, this is great. Your discussion was so good. So I told the Pally boys, obviously I don't keep my mouth shut, so I told everybody. And I found you from there. But you've done that a few times. Just recently, I just sat there and watched the Little Things.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it. I turned it off and I thought, I'll watch YouTube. Put YouTube on. And there's your bloody video. Are they here? Are they watching what I'm doing? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I've been a big fan of YouTube since then, to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, thank
you so much. And honestly, you and the Pally boys, I feel like we honestly owe you a debt of gratitude.
No, not at all. No, we have a thing at the Pallies that... the thing at the Pally boys and what we all strive to do is we're all in the same boat. There's no competition with any of us. You know, no one's bigger, no one's smaller, no one's right, no one's wrong. So every time that we meet people like yourselves, or every time we meet other YouTube creators and so forth, we don't just big the channel up. We want to be friends with them. We want to, they're awesome. And that's what it means to me personally. I'm never going to be big on YouTube, and the views and the subs. I
don't know.
I do like them, but me doing this as a hobby, the most important thing to me is all the people I'm meeting. So people like yourselves, you mean the world to us, Pally boys. I mean, you know, you've got a good channel. That's why. So I don't look at it as, I'm supporting the girls and I'll get them up. I just think, what a great channel. People should be watching that. That's the way I look at it. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, you guys, it was fun because we were already part of the Red 5 network, which kind of gave us, you know, so many awesome people
and people to meet.
And then when you found us, you exposed us to people like Blue Harvest Vintage Toys.
Did we meet Luke through?
I feel like we met Luke through you, actually. But
usually I'm exposing myself, you see, so I just needed to expose somebody else. So that's what it is.
But yes, you've been like exposed to so many other people, and we're so thankful for that. Like so many more awesome people that we've gotten to meet because of you and getting to meet you. So it's just
thank you, girls.
You're so welcome. I also want to say, I think what you just said, like your attitude on, you know, lifting others up and being an encouragement and positive, and your outlook on YouTube is probably why you will do good on YouTube.
Yes.
Well, I remember The Last Jedi, and that came out, and I'll never, you'll probably ask me later on, so I won't go on about it, but I remember coming out of the cinema, and I wasn't. I don't know. I'm a positive person, so I must have tried for days to try and get out of it. But when you go on YouTube, it's just nothing but negativity about it. And I'll be honest with you, I've been one of those people that fell for that. And then you watch, let's see who else hates it. Let's see who else. Then after a while, you thought, this is getting so bad because I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a toy collector. I'm a pop culture enthusiast. I'm not going to turn my back on it because of one film. So I decided to go more positive. And I'm a person who we have a furniture business. We work from home. And I found the Pally Boys. And I went on there. And I always said, if I do it myself, I'm not going to be negative. I want to be positive and, spread the light. There's too much negativity going on. I'm not going to be one of them. So.
There is. Honestly, these days you stand out by being positive because it is a sea of negativity.
It's just fun though, isn't it? It's fun to do, singing, dancing, messing around.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find. Yeti Cast asks, "Will Shabby dance?"
Yeah, yeah, all the time. Queuing up at the supermarket.
We've got Shabby dancing, and then
I feel like we need the air horn, like dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and then at some point, Natalie and I will probably break out in song
in our terrible singing voices.
Oh, it makes me laugh when Natalie breaks. I'm like, what's she doing? You'll be talking about something, and then she'll just break out into song, and I'm like, this is awesome.
He's like, she's so bad, but it's entertaining.
No, it's good. There's no such thing as bad singing, bad dancing in my eyes. Honestly, you go
there
for
it. There you go. I like it.
Yes, but let people know, anyone in the chat or watching later that maybe hasn't found you, tell them where they can find you and what exactly your channel's about.
Right. Well, I'm Marc Shabby Geek, and my channel is about everything. It's hard to put it. I'm basically a toy guy. I collect toys. I've collected toys practically all my life, and that's how I've ended up with the majority of the communities is the toy collectors. I'm a big fan of it. I love pop culture in general, but my videos, if I buy something, I'll review it. If I watch a movie with my children, I'll do it. If I have a laugh and a joke, I'll do that. Like yesterday's video has a bit of everything in it that's being loaded today. So yeah, if you just like a good time and you just want to get away from the negativity for 10 minutes, come and watch me, so.
Well,
absolutely.
I will say this, Natalie's daughter, my niece, she said to me one day, she said, "Why can't you guys' videos be entertaining like Mark's videos?"
I thought that many a time. Watching Natalie, I thought she's nice, but she needs to. No, there's only one video I'm ashamed of, really. Me and Jen did a Q&A video, and I did put a warning at the start, and I said, there will be swearing, and there's 2 swear words in it, and afterwards, it's the only video I regret doing, and it was a couple of months back now. But the reason for that is what people like you, Michelle, have just said. I've got kids that watch us, even though my channel is not for children, and I press on the button "not for kids." I know children do, so you'll never find another swear word from me again. So.
I love that. Yeah. But that's so cool. But your personality, it is going to attract kids. Because like you are like this character and animated and fun, so naturally they're going to be drawn to that.
Yeah, and that's why I regret doing it, to be honest.
It's okay.
It was only 2 words.
Don't worry about it.
I don't. You watch something. Oh yeah. But that's the thing to me. You see, I didn't want to come into YouTube being somebody else. I didn't want to come into YouTube pretending to be. This is who I am. If you met me in real life, I'm exactly the same way.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But in real life, I swear like a trooper. So.
Hey, I have my time. Believe it or not.
Oh no.
I think you released I think on YouTube, it was like a clip where you did cuss, and it genuinely made me laugh because it was so authentic. And
that was my son. My youngest son has autism, and he's very, very quiet, but he'll talk. But because he's so quiet, he's only 8, and because he's so quiet, you don't realize what he's going to pick up. He'll come out with something. You're like, wow, how do you know that? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I was sat here and I said the S. I dropped something, and he in the background he went, "Don't say," and he said the S word. I thought, all right. So I wanted to share it within the world to put it up on the internet.
I will admit, there's something about like if you stub your toe or like you said, drop something on accident, like SHIT comes out of my mouth, and I can't. like I don't know how to not. Like it just it's like it's right there in my brain and it just comes out. So same thing with me since my daughter's been little. It's like she'll just kind of laugh and like nod. like there she goes.
I know, it's funny, isn't it? Hello, Tim.
Well, and I want to ask, because you are from England originally.
Yeah, I am.
I couldn't tell by the accent.
Yeah, you knew. I wanted to know, how long have you been in America?
This is my second term here. I was in the suit business for a long time. Hence how I got the name Shabby. Do you know what I mean? Because I was constantly in suits. It was constant. I mean, if you looked at my wardrobe, it was worse than Kim Kardashian's. You know what I mean? Suits and overcoat. And I ended up coming to America to work. And I met my wife, and that was 18 years ago. And then we left in 2000. We had my son here, and then we left in 2005, went back to England. But Jen got really homesick, so we came back in 2014. So I've most of my adult life I've been back and forth from the States. But I'm a foreigner that loves this country. I love it. You know, when you're somewhere else, all you hear about is the guns and this and that. And I've never had any issues here. I love it here. I think when you move into somebody else's country, you've got to respect their laws, respect their fact. And I do. I just think it's a great country to live in. It's funny. I like it. You know, I always have a sarcastic way of looking at stuff. So when something happens, I'll just laugh it off, you know. So.
Well, and with that being said, do you ever, I'm sure you have to miss England at times.
Yeah, I do. I miss the food. Oh.
Okay. I was going to ask.
And you know what those lads do, the Pally Boys, they're right. You know, they'll put pictures up or they'll show me behind the scenes in the fridge, like the proper bacon and stuff. They're lousy. I don't know why I bother doing it with them. Do you know what I mean? I'm just always showing me bread and tea. And, I miss the food. It's the food I miss. I have a twin brother as well, and I'm very close to him. Identical. He's gorgeous. And what is it? I miss him. I miss him a lot. So, yeah. But I speak to him every day, to be honest. So.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Maybe he could move here with you.
Yeah, he does all right over there. But that's the nicest thing though about FaceTime and stuff like you get to see your mum and you get to see your family. So it's not really a problem.
Well, that's nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you over here.
Also, one more plug. Yes, we are happy to have you here. Great addition to the USA, Marc Shabby Geek. We're honored. But another plug for Shabby here. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, I highly recommend you follow him on Instagram. It's Marc Shabby Geek. And see his custom furniture pieces because I've looked at them. I've shown my daughter some and I might invest in a piece down the road. I mean, it's like you do amazing work. Like there was one with sunflowers. I mean, just beautiful.
Jen hand paints all that. I mean, that's the thing.
That's crazy. Like it
was Jen's business. Jen started when I was at work and Jen was in England. We were raising the kids. She decided to go into all that is hand painted by her. Yeah. All the Boba Fett's, all the painting that you see done by my wife, and we just took off. We started it about 15 years ago and it just went whoom like that. So when we came over here, and it's been a success. We've done really well with it. So I do all the pop culture. And then what we'll do is collaborative pieces. So we'll do an Alice in Wonderland piece, for example, and it'll all be done. And then we'll do all the hand. And she does all. I've got to give her credit for the artwork. It's amazing what she does. So,
it is. It's really cool what she does.
But yeah. So basically, from what I've seen, if you guys are looking for a custom piece or something, he can do, and his wife, almost anything.
We've done everything from, what is it, the Civil War to Star Wars, everything. We've covered everything. So.
Yeah, so definitely check him out there. Yeah. But I want to ask, since you are into toys, is there anything just like gut reaction when I ask this that you would say, what is your favorite piece, of collectibles? Do you have something? Yeah,
my favorite piece is my original Millennium Falcon. It's the 1979 one, and it's a Palatoy one. That's hence the name Pala Boys. Palatoy is the English version of Canada, if you will. But my holy grail was the shuttle that John Baldry got me, and we saw the video. I got really emotional and really upset. So. They're my favourite pieces, but I've started to collect other things like the He-Man I love, the Transformers I'm starting to get into. It just makes me, it's funny because a lot of toy collectors I've said this on the Pally Boys, they'll hide behind the fact of nostalgia. It's not for me. Nostalgia's a bonus, but I just love collecting toys. I always have done. I just think they're fun. They make me feel good, so.
Yeah.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't, you know what I mean?
Toys.
Yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, my only vibe.
Yeah, no, well, that's cool.
I think that's a beautiful thing, honestly. It's like to have something you love and
Yeah.
life is short, like just something that brings you joy. It's like, why not? YOLO, like this.
But I think that's one of the reasons why our community's done so well. I mean, I used to sit there and I'll be making the furniture and I'll always have toys on. And that's how I met the Pala Boys. I'd have them on and then I'd comment and so forth. So Mark asked me to go on there and I've been there ever since. I never left. So and that it's just fun to me. I don't like the people that are upset behind the fact that we collect toys. Who cares? It's fun. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It is fun. Well, Mark, we'll ask you some questions and just kind of see where it goes. I think both of us love Star Wars probably the most. But outside of Star Wars, what is your favorite franchise in entertainment? Movies.
I'm a big fan of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Massive. I think I've seen Pee-wee more than I've seen Star Wars. I can't, I know it sounds, it's the most quotable film in the world. Every sentence that's in that movie.
I feel you on that, and I didn't really get it. I actually we have pictures of me. I have a brother that's exactly 5 years older than me. I was born on his 5th birthday, but when I was about 2, he had a Pee Wee Herman doll that you'd like and
it was a drawstring,
and so it would say some of his quotes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So much nostalgia. So I would carry that around with me. I kind of took it as my own. Apparently, I loved the doll. Of Pee Wee Herman at 2, and they have pictures of me with it. But then several years ago, but my daughter started watching the movies, and I would watch them with her, and I'm like, this is such a unique, cool, I don't know if campy might be the right, but just humor to it. It's very interesting. Like he created such a cool character.
I think so. I mean, I know all the controversy and stuff behind it, but I've never got into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like the actual movie itself. It's so unique the way you did it. It's like the TV show. You'd have one version of it in the morning for children, and the same version, but the alternate take at night for adults. And for somebody to have that much genius to be able to do that, you know what I mean? I think
you got to give it to them.
Aliens, I heard you talk about before. I'd never seen Aliens till last year. So
really,
it was a franchise.
I was going to ask that. Okay.
And then I watched all of them together. I spent a week and watched every one of them from Alien to the new one that came out a few years ago. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, somehow I had never watched Alien.
Yeah, I knew it was kind of a classic.
Yeah, definitely a classic. But I had never watched it. So that you actually answered a question I was going to ask you on that.
Yeah, it's something I never got around watching. It's funny that because I'm well into pop culture, but it just never appealed to me as a kid. It never. And then the lads were talking about it. I thought, I'll give it a go. And superb, all of them. So yeah, I loved them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we've just watched the first one at this point, but it was definitely interesting.
Yes.
Well, and with
more thoughts to come.
Yes, more thoughts to come on that.
I'll watch it.
I wanted to ask too. I wanted to make some of these questions different, obviously, than our discussion we had with Luke. So I have this. Can you pick your favorite movie in each Star Wars trilogy?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Name them off.
He's he's got this. He's confident.
God, first of all, it's Empire Strikes Back. Even though my favorite scene is in of all Star Wars is in Return of the Jedi, my favorite movie is The Empire Strikes Back. Then Revenge of the Sith, and then Force Awakens. When the Force Awakens came out, I thought it was fun. I loved all the hype. I loved all the media. I loved everything about it. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. So I loved the Force Awakens. That was a great movie.
You literally just named mine. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So now let's say, do you have a favorite? Who's your favorite character in each of those trilogies? Or can
Skywalker. Luke's in all of them. Luke Skywalker, and then everybody else. You're
like even the baby Luke is my favorite character.
When he was an egg and Padme's unfertilized, he was still.
It's the only film I remember as a kid. I'll talk to my twin brother, and I can't remember. You get a lot of people saying, "Oh, I remember when I went to see Star Wars at 2." No, I don't remember last week, so I don't remember that. So, but I do remember Return of the Jedi. And I remember him, coming out in all the black gear and doing the Sith moves against the Gamorrean guards. I thought, wow, this is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was 9, and I just thought, this is and I've never stopped loving him since then. I mean, just the outfit. Most of the toys I get, it doesn't matter if I saw a Barbie in a Luke Skywalker, I'd buy it. You know what I mean? I just love Jedi Knight Luke. I always have. So,
yeah, I mean, Jedi Luke he's just too cool.
I mean, he's the most badass Luke, that's for sure.
It's the inspiration. I think that's what it was. I'm from a small town up north on the coast. And I don't know, ever since I was a kid, I always see what, his ambition, what he wanted to strive to be. And it's always stuck with me. I think that's, it's easy to say, I like Luke Skywalker because of the way he looks and the way I just like what he means, what he brings to people, the hope, the ambition, the optimism. I just love all that about him, so I'm a massive fan. Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Well, so then we'll lead it into that. So what was going through your mind when you were watching the finale of The Mandalorian season 2 and you see the X-Wing? Like right. Walk us through that.
We like to relive it and get people's
even my heart races now. Do you know how many times I have watched that? It's just sickening. We were talking about on the Palace, and obviously we have big discussions. Oh, it's going to be Mace Windu. Oh, it's going to be Ezra. But I knew it was going to be Luke. But behind, I just had this. It had to be. It had to be, and not because of all the controversy with that character. It's the fact that if you look at that era, who else is going to be there? So my heart was racing, and then I watched the one with Ahsoka, when she said there's a Jedi that will meet her. I just thought, oh no. So I sent that picture. I don't know whether you saw it on Twitter. I put a picture up with my Ignite the Green Luke lightsaber and said, please, Dave Filoni, please just do it for Shabby. I don't ask for much, Oh. So I'm watching it, and I watched it really late. I stayed up and watched every one of them at 3 o'clock in the morning. So all my family are asleep, and our Jen's asleep. So and all of a sudden I saw that X-Wing. How I did not explode, do you know what I mean? It's because with everybody really asleep, all you can hear is Shabby going mad, but with no sound. You know what I mean? It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It just tears. Oh my word! They were flowing. It was so cool. It was just, and they did such a perfect job. And then, the CGI was just a touch off, but to make it Mark Hamill as well, and to give it, I just loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Do you know, I know people that bothered people, but I was so just in awe of what I was watching that I just didn't care.
It worked for me.
Yeah, it was I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Because, you joined almost all of our live chats when we covered The Mandalorian on Saturday mornings live. And we discussed that in the chat of it just makes sense. Logically, it makes sense for Luke to go up. And it's just exactly. There's a part of you that's but no, they won't do it.
It's that self-preservation.
That was the worst part. When you heard the alarm go off and someone's coming, that's when you go, you know what I mean? It's funny because that part is about a 2-second clip, but to you, it's 2 hours, because and then you see it coming. But that's why I watched every one of your discussions about it, because what you two do, what is different, what I like, and what the majority of your boys like, you have a discussion. You don't sit there and go, this is how it works. You talk to us, and So I think that's why you two have shot up over the past few months, because that's one of the good things. When you actually write discussion in your titles, you actually mean it. Which is rather nice.
Thank you.
We do. We always say that from the beginning. We want it to be a community and a discussion, not just us
and I've told her, and we've named our Wanda ones reviews, but even in those we kind of discuss the things that we get at. But it's I don't say a lot of YouTube channels do this. It's if when I just watch something, I don't need you to rehearse just a review, a summary of what I just saw.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. That's it. Wanda walked in the room and then I've just watched that. You know what I mean? I'm
You're I saw that part. What I want is I want to hear your thoughts on what we just saw. What did it make you feel? What did you think? What did you like? What did you not like? Or things like that. So that's why we've done that. But That
The best part
moment.
with you was how dark you went for Smeagol, though, Michelle. I was worried. I was sat there with my cup of tea going, is she all right? What's the matter with her? How come she's gone so dark all of a sudden? And all that?
I mean, did you see my face? I was kind of like,
I know. I think everyone was watching was going, Natalie, get out quick. Get out, Natalie, while you can.
like her eyes turned dark.
I know. We all went, what?
See, Schmeagol, he even got a reaction because, like, I was even saying, like people really love the reactions. And I was telling Natalie, I was like, I'm just not going to record that because it's only X amount of things that provoke a genuine. I like to be genuine on our channel, and there's only X amount that provokes a genuine response for me. But man, when Schmeagol came out of nowhere, I was like, no!
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Can you imagine it tearing up the house? He's back. I don't believe.
Well, I think it was the fact she didn't just want him to die.
I know. That's what I mean. The stuff she was coming out with, I was like, bloody heck, I don't want an argument with her. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, she wanted him to die a bloody.
It was like a slow, painful death.
I can see it on camera. Oh, I don't want him to die quickly. I want it. We were all like that watching. Do you know what I mean?
I'm like, who hurt you, Michelle?
I know.
Michelle and Gold, kindred spirits.
Hi, Andy.
I think they're so much alike that they butt heads.
Yeah.
I say no to that.
Yeah.
So since we do know, I'll ask you because Luke had only seen one of them. Since you like Lord of the Rings, and I've noticed that it's very polarizing. People either really like the Hobbit trilogy or don't like. How did you feel about the Hobbit? Because we've not
like it. Okay. You'll enjoy it. The thing about it, it's the same as the original trilogy in Star Wars. Everything that comes after is compared to that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even now, you never talk about the sequel trilogy compared with the prequels. You always talk about it being compared to the original trilogy. Well, The Lord of the Rings is done exactly the same way. The Hobbit is good. Is it as good as The Lord of the Rings? No, but The Lord of the Rings book is like that. They can make 3 movies out of it. The Hobbit is that big, and they've made 3 movies out of it. Do you see what I mean? So there's a few more things in there that aren't in the book. But I enjoyed it. It's good. The casting, it's perfect again. So it's more or less. It's like if you go out for a pizza and then you have steak on it. You think, oh, nice. And you go out for the next one, they haven't got steak on it. Still nice, but it's just not as good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna watch it. I have noticed that with things. It's like some are like, yeah, it's really good, and others are like, it was terrible. So it's oh God.
I mean, it's not terrible. I'll be honest. Yeah. Well, I can only speak for me. I didn't think it was terrible. You know, I like it. I like the story. There's the CGI. There's one part, and you want to watch it. There's one character in it that CGI which has aged. It looks a bit dodgy. So that sometimes makes me go. But other than that, no, it's a good film. I don't mind the Hobbits. They're good.
Okay, you just said a word because Natalie and I really like BBC television.
Yeah.
And I want you to fully define for me dodgy. Like if I want to use that in a phrase, how do I use it?
It's like I kind of get it. Like it's kind of like it's kind of sketchy. Like it's kind of like it's
exactly right. So say for example you're buying a car off somebody, and somebody goes, "Oh, our John's selling a car. Oh, I won't buy a car off John White. It's a bit dodgy." Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so it literally is a synonym for our use of sketchy.
Like it's a little sketchy. It's not quite right.
Okay.
This is the second time I've had this conversation because my Lucy, my little girl who does my He-Man videos with me, she said it on the Ghostbusters. She went, "Oh, it's a bit dodgy," and I got loads of comments like, "What does that mean, dodgy?" You know?
Well, now I know that. So that's all.
Yeah, it wasn't so much. I guess pat on the back to myself. I guess the way that you guys use the word, I just sort of understood like how you were using it. But yeah, I can understand being kind of like, what does it exactly mean though? But it's just the way it was used. It was like I kind of could put it together.
And see, another one, since we have you here, I was always, when I was little, was raised like, because the British say like bloody so much. I was almost under the aware.
Yeah, we thought it was like a cuss word, but it's really not, I guess, right?
No, not really. I mean, you got told off for saying it as a kid. Do you know what I mean? So if our Lucy said, "Oh, bloody hell," do you know what I mean? I'd be like, but yeah, it's just a term for us, you know. What are you doing tonight? "Oh, I'm on bloody," you know what I mean? Like that, you know. I've got to put up with bloody Natalie and Michelle, you know.
Sometimes, like when it's used in like on television, it almost like sounds like just saying very. Like that was very good. That was bloody good. Like it's just kind of an adjective that enhances something. It's kind of how I heard it or understood it.
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it's like. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's see. We've got people using dodgy and dodgy different things in the.
Haven't we all, Tim? Haven't we all?
I love Mark. Another one that I picked up from the BBC shows is bullocks. You know, that's bullocks. And so we learned that's kind of like bull shit.
Girls, why'd you have to say that on this? It's not bullocks, it's bollocks.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
Okay. What a load of bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Like that song. But it's Mark, if Mark's in the Poly Boys watching, how am I supposed to explain what?
So in that phrase, is it almost like what a load of crap? Like
exactly right, yeah. Okay. Exactly right, yeah.
Okay. So So now that we've worked out our things, what are your favorite BBC shows? Since maybe we need a new show to watch.
Yeah.
Where do I start? I mean, the first one, it's the British humour for me. I've you know, it's funny. It's full of wits, full of sarcasm, and let me think. Shooting Stars is like it was like a game show, but not a game show. It was all sketches, you see. So Shooting Stars is Father Ted. You've got to watch Father Ted. I mean, Father Ted is just. You two would love Father Ted. It's about 3 Irish priests that live in Craggy Island, but it is so funny. I mean, it's not sacrilegious at all. But what they do is it's these 3 priests don't want to be there, so that's why the joke is. Do you see what I mean? But you've got to watch Father. I tell you what, watch one episode for me, and I guarantee you'll love it.
I'll do it.
Let's see. Blue Harvest seems to echo your Father
There you go.
Ted.
Father Ted, Only Fools and Horses. If you want to know what real England's like down south, watch Only Fools. I mean, talk about dodgy geezers. About 2 brothers that will try everything to. But the funniest thing is, you've seen most of our British TV shows over here because you've taken them off. Like Sanford and Son is actually Steptoe and Son. Three's Company's Man About the House. So many of your TV, The Office was obviously The Office. Yeah. There's so many TV shows over here where I've watched in America and I've gone, I've seen this. And then at the end it says based on the British TV show. So
we like to copy, you know.
Because truth be told, the Brits might have better TV. Let's just say it.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny. It's different. You know, I'll watch, for example, a TV show in England, and I'll be roaring with laughter, and I'll generally be sat there like, it's just not funny. Do you know? It's just. But then, same as over here, there'll be over here. I mean, I like Schitt's Creek. I'm watching at the moment. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, it's great. We like that one.
It's really fun. There's a few American shows that have been brilliant, but although I think that's Canadian, isn't it? Sorry, girls. I don't know.
It technically is Canadian.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You got us there.
Yeah, but there's a few.
Well, how would you explain? Because there is like the Brits definitely have their own flavor of humor. How would you kind of describe the differences between typical Brit humor and typical American humor?
We're tongue in cheek, us boys. We're very sarcastic. We'll say stuff to each other that if we say it over here, someone would take it the wrong way. You know, that's why sometimes I'm so happy I met the Pally Boys, to be honest, because I need that British humour with me. You know, sometimes if I'll tell a joke over here, for example, they won't find it. I'll tell you a story. I'll give you an example. I'd gone to Hooters when I first arrived in America, so I'm only young. Right, I'm 20, 21. That's it. And I used to play Sunday League soccer over here. So after that, we'd go to a bar, we'd have a couple of beers, have a burger, whatever.
Sounds dodgy.
Well, I'd gone to one night, and this I'd had a bit. I wasn't drunk. I was a little bit tipsy, but I'm always one to be on show, making people laugh and everything else. This girl comes up in the uniform, and she was very ample. I'll say that, yeah. And she had a badge on right there that said Melindy. So I said to her, "Oh, Melindy," I said, "that's a lovely name. what's your other boob called? I got thrown out. Do you know what I mean? Well, but in England, she would have laughed. You know, it would have like, you know, but over here, that's what I mean. It's completely different. So.
Yeah, it is different.
Well, I learned that this is really random, but I would watch like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and one of the castmates was from England, and she would say things that would offend people, and she'd be like, "Oh, darling, you just don't get it. I'm British."
No.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's where I kind of picked up there must be just like you guys are a little more dry and sarcastic, and like sometimes people don't pick up on like it's a joke, you know?
Yeah, but I kind of like that because when you do come over here, it's a different culture. You know, a lot of people say to me, because the Americans and the English are more or less the same. They're not the same. It's a completely different place. You know, from the weather to the people to the cities to the culture. So when you asked me before, is British TV better than American TV? Not really. It's just different. You know, one's got one, one's got another. That's it. So
yeah, definitely. Well, too, let me move. I have a question for you. I know you're a Bond fan, so I'd say you are looking forward to that movie. But I wanted to know, is there anything? Okay, if the schedule keeps as is, what are you looking forward to the most in 2021 for the big screen, and then we'll move our way to the little screen?
For the big screen, I don't know, that Kong versus Godzilla looks pretty cool. You know what I mean?
I knew you were a big Kong fan.
We saw that advertisement.
Yes.
When we saw the little things, they actually played that before the movie. So
Yeah, I mean, it's about Lucy. She loves Godzilla, loves it. So I think I feed off her because she'll watch the movies and she's like that, you know. So
you and her are so cute together, by the way.
Yeah, she's ace. She's the only one that's interested in the toys. The rest of them couldn't care less. You know, she loves it. So I'm interested. What else is coming out? That's pretty cool. I don't know, because every time you think a movie's coming, it doesn't come. Like, I've been waiting for that Bond movie for over, nearly 2 years now.
I know. It's like they're going to have a new James Bond movie with a new James Bond by the time we get this one. So
I was looking forward to Wonder Woman, but I wasn't thrilled about that, to be honest. It was nowhere near the patch on the first one. So,
no, the first one was like really, really good.
That was one of those, it was hard. It was going to be really hard to top the first one.
Yeah.
You know, it was a high bar.
And it did not top it. I still enjoyed it, but it definitely didn't top it.
It's like it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to me. And
the first one was more like solid.
Yeah, the first one was like truly a better movie. So yeah, Kong and Godzilla. And then is there anything, say, out of the Marvel stuff or Star Wars? Well, I guess we just have one. Well, I think 2 Star Wars, one being animated and then the Book of Boba Fett. What are you most looking forward to on the little screen this year?
Well, Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it took us all, that, didn't it? That trailer at the end of The Mandalorian, where you just think you've seen everything with Luke going off, and then Boba Fett sat in Jabba's stuff. That's why I love The Mandalorian. That's why I love it. I'll never forget the first season of it. You know, I'm a toy collector, so I've played with Star Wars since I was a kid, and now I have a show that's got an IG-11 droid on a speeder bike with a Baby Yoda killing Stormtroopers. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So yeah, Book of Boba Fett, I can't wait to see.
That is what I'm most looking forward to, because I really enjoy. In fact, if people have watched our WandaVision reviews, we started out like, we're not sure about this at all. Then we moved to getting more interested, and now we're genuinely interested.
Now I'm like in it, you know. Now I'm in it to win it.
But I say that to say there's nothing like, I enjoy Marvel at times, but it can't compare to my Star Wars. So I definitely have to go Book of Boba Fett. Like, as much as some of the Marvel stuff looks cool, like that's what I'm into. That's what I'm excited about. The only wrinkle that could possibly maybe even rival Book of Boba Fett is if I'm still got my fingers crossed that Netflix is smart enough to see, okay, Mandalorian is not coming out. Book of Boba Fett doesn't come out until December. Let's put Stranger Things right in November.
I love Stranger Things. It's awesome. What a great show that is. Well, I heard the rumor that there's meant to be a trailer for it at the Super Bowl for Stranger Things 4. Now, listen, I'm not entertainment tonight, so don't take my word for it. I'm sure I read or saw something that there's a trailer for that. So
Well, I
We'll
think
see.
it would be smart for them to do a tease because
I will
they've been
say.
filming since September. So
Yeah.
they have to have enough footage
Oh,
to
I hope so.
do something. And
Yeah.
it's like, I remember season 2, we got our first trailer for season 2 at the Super Bowl. So so it could be. So I would be thrilled. Like I
watched season 3. I thought season 3 of Stranger Things was just, it was when he started singing Never Ending Story, that was it for me. I thought, this is the greatest thing I've seen. It was so good. Yeah, I love it.
You know what? That's the song. I'm like, one of these Fridays, I'm going to do a shabby dance party and
More than
post it
welcome.
on Twitter. And I'm like, Never Ending Story. That is the song to do it to.
I thought you were going to do one yet because I saw you saying something. I thought, oh, she's getting a groove on. Look at this. You didn't do it. So.
Maybe this Friday it's coming. Stay posted.
All right.
Yeah. So that is the only thing, because Stranger Things is the only thing that rivals my love of Star Wars, because it's just so. It's so, we actually did a thing back in the summer where we kind of mentioned, of course, I love the Star Wars stuff, all that, but there's kind of, we went back, our theater started releasing 80s movies and we would go see them. And some of them I had never seen. And I really hit me how much I feel like they've kind of lost creativity in Hollywood. Yeah. And I feel like Stranger Things was one of those things.
Like reignited it.
It reignited, just kind of like, it was truly a creative masterpiece that they did in our day. And it's just
Cobra Kai did it. I mean, I've got to admit, Cobra Kai's done the same thing. Yeah, it's not the budget that Stranger Things has got, but the story is there. And I think nowadays, and I'm not going to get into the politics because that's not Shabby's way, but there's so much going on that they tend to come away from the story, and that's what we all care about. You know, the nicest thing about the Star Wars franchise is it's simple: good versus evil, beginning, middle, end, and we all loved it for that. You know, then you fill it in with your characters and your costumes and your development. The new ones, to me, never did that. They never did a story first. They wanted to put everything that's trendy now in there, and that's not what Star Wars is about. The reason we still watch a movie now from 1977 is because how well it's written. Do you know what I mean? So that's, you know, so Stranger Things, I think you're right. It's written so well. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. You know, that mall scene and it's awesome. You know.
And I know what you're saying, and I won't go there either, but I totally 100% get what you're saying. Like, instead of really focusing on the story and character development, sometimes it's become like, let's check off boxes, you know, like, and it's like,
on the edge, which I'm all for. Don't get me wrong. I like progression. I like people. I want people to feel comfortable in everything.
Right.
You don't. The thing about us lot is you don't have to sell it to me. Just put it in
like,
there.
don't force it. You know?
The female empowerment thing. I mean, every time now, female empowerment. I grew up with strong women. Do you know? And I absolutely love. I've never been sexist in my life. You know, me and my wife are always equal. And it's the same as on movies. If you talk to the Palibos, we'll all say the same thing. Look who we grew up with: Ripley, Princess Leia, Sarah Connor. Do you know what I mean? These are quality characters. But not once do they sit there and go, oh, it's ladies. Oh, it's women. All the nonsense. The Mandalorian did it perfect. You know, you got those 4 girls at the end that did it, and they never said a word. All it took was one sentence to make people go, oh, here we go again. And you forgot. That's the thing. It was so good and so well done. You forgot all about what sex it was. It was 4 characters kicking ass, you know, and it was superb the way they did it. So I loved that.
Well, and that's what we even brought up, because like Marvel,
you had really kind of bragged on that because it was done so flawlessly. Like, it wasn't like, oh, look, you know, insert women. Like you said, it was just it was organic and natural. You know, it felt that way.
Because you can compare that to the way Marvel did it in Endgame, and Marvel, the way they did it was like, hey guys, it's all the girls together.
And the way they were strutting and walking, you're like, what's this, a poster? Do you know what I mean? It looked ridiculous. That's the difference.
Yes, like as a woman, like I cringed a little on the inside.
It's a shame, really, because there's so many good female-led movies and they're awesome. I mean, it's like I said, but I don't look at them, girls, as female-led movies. I look at them as awesome movies, you know?
Yes.
So that's the thing. It's like you have to sell things nowadays, and you don't. Just nice story. We'll all be invested, you know?
Exactly.
Definitely. And I think because of that, because of kind of certain, like we've got to check these boxes, and they focus on that more than just writing a good character. It's kind of like in going back and watching some older movies, I feel like I feel like there's actually better female characters in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s at times than there are now. A lot of the times, not always. There's some good characters.
Well, you're going to do it soon. You're watching the Alien franchise. And I'd like to talk to you after that, because you're about to see one of the best characters in all of pop culture. I mean, what Sigourney Weaver does in those movies, it'll take your breath away. She's unbelievable. So next week you'll have answered your own question there, Michelle.
That's the only thing I will give away. She was an awesome female character for sure. Really, she's just an awesome,
great character. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like an awesome female character,
an awesome person of color. No, just an awesome character. Yeah, like that's what she was. And you brought up Cobra Kai. And I think there's two reasons people really enjoy.
People are really loving that, and I haven't seen it. She's seen it. Maybe I need to watch it.
Well, I think I think they really, treated the two main characters right from the Karate Kid movies. Like they really,
aren't they kind of like making fun of it almost? From what I
understand? Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
It's a continuation, but I think two things. I think one, people enjoy the treatment of those two characters, the adults, and then secondly, I think whether people realize it or not, it's been a breath of fresh air in how not politically correct the main character is.
Yeah.
And I just think people, like, to me, there were times he would say things that would make me laugh and almost gasp, because it's like,
because you're not used to hearing
You're not used to hearing it, but it was fun. And it's like, because that's been something kind of that people put the clamps on things so harsh, of getting so offended at so many little things, that it kind of like, it's like, can we just have fun again? Like let's make movies fun.
It's like what I said. I'm not going to mention their names or do anything. I wrote something about a Star Wars character on Twitter, and everyone's coming for me. Oh, this, and I'm like, all I wrote was, I like this person. Do you know what I mean? And, well, I don't know where you've been for the past 4 years. I'm going, all right, and it's funny how you can trigger somebody just by that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like the word fan service. I just don't understand this thing, fan service. Then who's it for? And that's what Cobra Kai does really well. You can tell the love of the Karate Kid franchise to make that, and it's so well done. And it's so I love it to pieces.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Well, kind of closing, I've got to ask the question that I said I was going to ask all our guests, and that is, because I want everyone to see, it's like, I feel like after it came out, people either you really, really defended it, or you really, really hated it. And it's kind of like, it's a movie. You can talk about it and not just be honest, but not be a jerk about it. So yeah. I want your honest take on, what do you feel about The Last Jedi? I knew it was coming.
We have a thing on the Palaboys called Shabby's Rant. Are you ready for it? No. I watched The Force Awakens, and I heard all the critics. It's just a recap of A New Hope. I went in with 100% with that, because I thought, no, we're starting again, and I understand that they'll probably base it on another Star Wars movie to get us all back and I loved it. I thought the characters of Rey, I thought the characters of Finn, I really enjoyed the new characters. I saw my boy Luke at the very end, but the way they did that film, I thought, that's not bad. I thought it was a continuation. And then I went to see The Last Jedi. It's horrible. I can't. It's not even a Star Wars movie to me, honestly. I've tried, honestly, girls. I've tried. I remember going. Oh, it's a big thing for me, because all my family and my nieces and nephews, we all go and see a Star Wars movie. So there's loads of us. And what happens is, what I'm like. I'm a very animated person, and I love it. And every time I've been to see a movie, I come out and I'm talking away, and I was just so quiet. I didn't know what to say. And I was, I remember stood in the lobby, and all my kids and my nieces said, "Oh, what did you think? What did you think?" And I couldn't say anything. So I thought, is it just me? Is it an age thing, or have I just not? And then obviously you go online. Now, I'll never be like the people online. If people love it, that's fantastic. I can't be like that. And it's always funny the way you hear people turn around and say, "Oh, that's it. Star Wars. I'm done with Star Wars." I'm not going to be done with a 40-year-old franchise because of one movie. It's not going to happen. I just think it was very poorly written, and listen, I'm just speaking for me, not for anybody else. What they did to Luke broke my heart. It broke my heart. It did. You know, I understand, you know, when people kept saying, well, it is 30 years after, well, the realism, but it's not real. It's not supposed to be real. This is supposed to be escapism. We're talking about furry animals, ships in space, and laser swords. There's nothing real about it. That's why we love it. You know, we can come away from our lives. And so when they made him the way they did, oh, girls, I'll never get over it. I'll never get over it. But I know it's horrible, and but I understand, you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying my way is right. You know, people that do like his character development, the way, that's fantastic. I'm really happy for you. I just couldn't find it. But I think that's one of the reasons why The Mandalorian Luke went the way it did. Because I think there's a lot of people that think the same way I do. So, and that's what we wanted to see. I want you to see, remember, this is a guy that's come to collect a creature he's never seen before, but he knows he's strong with the Force. In that film, he doesn't even save his sister, doesn't help his friends, turns his back, tries to murder his nephew. It's nothing, you know, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. That's what it is. I think that's what my issue is. I'm like, who is this? You know, and people say, oh, well, you have to have a change, but Batman would never change. You know, if you imagine seeing a Batman movie where he drives a Ford Fiesta and he doesn't have, it's like it's all, they'll change him, but no one else.
Do you know,
that was a good way, interesting way to put it with Batman. Yeah,
that's the thing I would say is I think they went too far with Luke's depression. Like we could all handle him being a little depressed and a little obviously because of things, but I don't see him turning his back on his sister. I just don't. It
doesn't make any. Listen, this is a guy that quit his training on Dagobah to help him, knowing he's going to lose. You know, these two guys in the Force turned around to him and said, there's no chance. You're not ready. You're not prepared. He's too strong. If you go now, yes, you can save him, but look what's going to happen. And it did, but he still went. So this is my point. Return of the Jedi. He actually surrenders himself to the two most powerful villains of the galaxy, but knew it was for the good of the cause. He could see good. So this guy turns up on the Death Star. You know what I mean? And now you're trying to tell me that he's going to kill his nephew because he feels like he might. You're like, what? What the France? What are you talking about? You know, that's the only thing for me. Just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, well, what got me
I think
too,
it killed like a part of people's childhoods, like died with that movie.
Go on.
I think what got me too is like, so I was like you, I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. I thought it was fun. Obviously, now Han dying did kill a piece of my childhood.
I cry every time.
I just watch it. I just move on. But regardless, I really enjoyed it, and I really liked Rey. And I think sometimes the thing that gets me is it's like you had one job. Train Rey, like make sure that happens in the second movie so people will buy her. And it's like they didn't do it, and it was just like
put him in like he did Yoda. Listen, I didn't go into this new sequel trilogy expecting to see Luke, Han, and Leia. I didn't. You know, I knew they were going to be in it, but even when they were trying to promote it at the time, I knew they're not going to be in it that much because they want to develop new characters. So I would have just assumed that Luke would have played more of a Yoda character to Rey, because Rey is a great character, and I felt sorry for Rey's character because it just dived. It really did. You know, she lives on a desert planet all her life, but can ride a boat to a Death Star. Like, what? How did that happen? Do you know what I mean? It's like me getting in a plane right now, and I've never bloody been in one. You know, it don't make any sense. So I would have liked that. That's a good way of looking at it. If he trained Rey and he was in it for that 10 minutes and left, we'd all have left happy. Like, there's Luke. This is what we expect Luke to be like. You know, but I don't know.
Well, I feel you.
Yeah, well, and that's what we would just want to, like I said, because it's almost like people now, it's like you can't even be honest about your opinion about it because people are taking their camps and their sides. And it's like I feel like there's a authentic way to discuss it, and we're not bashing Star Wars. We all love it.
It's kind of one of those things. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer. It's a movie. What did you think about it?
You hit the nail on the head. It's like I said. I mean, first and foremost, I'm lucky because I'm a toy collector. That's what keeps me with the Star Wars franchise. I mean, you've seen my room. You've seen all the Black Series, all the Star Wars I collect. So I'm not going to turn my back on it because I love it. I love the characters. I love the development. I bought every practically canon book that there is, all the Legends books, and that's what I did because I did not like that movie so much. I went back to the books and read the books, and caught up with the books and read all the Timothy Zahn novels, which are probably the greatest Star Wars writer that's ever lived. Then I went to see Solo, and I loved Solo. I thought Solo was a great movie. So I don't know. It's funny, isn't it, the way people are. You can't say one word without, oh, that's not right. Well, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just me.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Gina Carano from, obviously The Mandalorian did a post on Twitter that is so true, like so simplistic.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like, for example, I like oranges, and then like the people, so you're saying you hate bananas and pears. It's kind of like that really is the world we're living in.
It's funny that because I'm new on YouTube, and I've realized that, you have to watch what you say because of what you just said. You have to be careful with, and you're thinking before you say something. It's like, oh, should I say that? That's why on my channel, I didn't set out to do one topic, because I knew if I did that, there's someone that's going to disagree with me. I'd rather just make what I want to say the truth. So.
Yeah, well,
and it does. You're right. Like sometimes, me too. Like it makes you. Sometimes it kind of takes away from your natural personality or like your thoughts, because you're always thinking like, oh, I don't want to say something that's going to offend somebody. Yeah. And not that I generally think I am going to say things that are going to offend somebody, but it's just like I don't know. It's like it makes it a little bit of a block sometimes, like on
Funny
YouTube.
Though, because if you talk about somebody's weight or somebody's looks or somebody's this, that, I completely understand. But it's like what Michelle just said. We're talking about a movie. How can it upset you? Do you know what I mean? It's not as if Mark Hamill's going to phone me later on and go, Shabby, thanks a lot for that, mate. I mean, oh, no problem, Mark. It's daft, isn't it?
Yeah, people are interesting, but
it's like it's not that deep.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it does stink. People are like they're so aggressive about things. Like it's just dreams, and it's like take a deep breath, everyone. Like it's okay, and just it's something. But
we did it a couple of days ago. Mark won't mind me sharing this story. We were talking on the Pally Boys, and I asked Usual Mike, who's in Australia, why he supports Manchester United. Why do you support them? Do you know what I mean? And I said, because there's not many people in Manchester that like him. Anyway, me, Usual Mike, Mark, we all got this massive story or some Manchester United. I've supported them for years. How dare you say that? So from now on, we just go, oh, we love Manchester United. But it's funny how, someone's comment can trigger off somebody to go be so mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny.
And you're going to have to watch yourself because you've got that British humor and the Americans don't get it.
I think some of us get it.
I think we do. I'm saying on Twitter.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah. That's why I just dance. That's all I do is dance on Twitter. That's why. You don't have to say anything when you're moving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely have to be
well,
careful.
I have to say, I don't know how anybody could dislike Shabby.
I don't need.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're awesome.
A delight.
You are.
I thought it's fun. I mean, it's fun meeting all these people coming on shows like yours, and it's so exciting. It's so much fun to, get to know everybody. It's brilliant.
I have to read Salacious from because he gets me every time.
Salacious,
watch The Last Jedi.
Did you see the short he made of me in it? Oh, I loved it. He made one of his short TikTok videos, and I was dancing in it. So I thought, thanks, Salacious.
Salacious is fun. But thank you so much for coming on. We don't want to take all your time, but thank you so much for coming on our channel.
Pleasure.
I've loved it.
Anyone in the chat or watching later that is not subscribed to Marc Shabby Geek, you will not be disappointed.
No.
His videos are uplifting, they're fun, they're energetic.
If you need a smile.
Yes, like if you need a smile, check out Marc Shabby Geek. Awesome channel, great guy. With a great sense of humor.
Yes.
It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. It's fun, this. Can you imagine me doing this and going, oh, welcome to Star Wars channel. Get to France. No chance. This is awesome.
It is awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on today and being our second guest. We knew as soon as we thought about doing the show that we wanted to have you on. We've been wanting to have you on for a while. And we just couldn't think, well, what are we going to have him on for? And then we started the show, and that's why I reached out to you.
How good was Luke last week as well? He's a lovely lad, Luke, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Luke, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Luke is definitely, he's a great guy. Great chat too and discussion. But yeah, thank you for coming on, and thank you everyone for tuning in for our second Force of Light Live. And again, I want to let you guys know we will have, let's see, to give the details on how to win the Luke and Yoda Funko Pop tomorrow on our Alien First Watch discussion. And then also, this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be talking about 90s high school movies or teen movies.
Our favorite ones.
Yeah. So definitely join us there and look out for that and check out some of our other videos. But yeah, so Mark, tell them where they can find you.
Well, on YouTube, you can find me at Marc Shabby Geek, but you can also find me on the Pala Boys, which is every Tuesdays and Fridays, which is in our time is 3 p.m. Eastern. But we are going to do some late night ones on Blue Harvest Vintage Toy Channel. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on Instagram at Marc Shabby Geek, I think 21. I've got to get used to all this high-tech stuff. It took me years to get a phone, and listen to me now, like I work for NASA. And then on Twitter, I'm at M Shabby Geek. So
yes, we'll definitely check him out.
Yes.
And last thing to everyone watching, Natalie and I will be on at 2 p.m. on From a Certain Point of View and we'll tweet it out, the information on their YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe to them. We're going to be chatting it up about Lord of the Rings with them today. So definitely tune in again at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and check that out. Be
there or be square.
Yeah. But thank you, Shabby. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks. I loved it.
We loved it too.
We did.
We'll do it again.
Yes, we will.
Definitely.
Full Shabby experience.
Yes, yes. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. And I'm not sure if we're going to try to do these lives 2 to 3 times a month. So we will I'm not sure. I think we'll have one next week, but we'll let you know on Twitter and stuff. And always we'll have it. You'll see it in our YouTube feed when we're going to have them. So be on the lookout for that. But we will see you guys next time. And that is it for this episode of Force of Light Entertainment.
And remember,
yes, to be a force.
This is my favorite part. Go on, say it.
Shabby, we'll let you tell them. What do they need to be?
You need to be a force of light.
Boom. There we go. All right. See you guys. Bye.